What we wanted to build was something where there was kind of no barrier of entry.
One of the criteria I was given by AttackSense was to make something that was accessible by both skirmishers and competition shooters.
Sites are running competitions and they're running them really well. Shooters are kind of turning up and enjoying the format of those. And what we thought is, what if you could somehow leave with some points which positions you against shooters in a national league? So we've created a format that works across all sites, allows sites to host qualifying events.
And I think that is the unique selling point for this particular concept, in that today you would have seen people that have never taken part in competitions before going up against a European champion, and they ended up in the top 3. So that shows that the concept of being able to bring skirmishers in against competition shooters, because of the way that the competition is structured, is unique.
At the end of the season, the best from those competitions will then move on into a grand final, with a goal to being the best shooter. League is designed so that anybody who is into airsoft really in any way can compete but also enjoy what they're doing. You can compete with what you already have. You don't have to go and buy an IPSC specific gun. The key thing with Snap Shooter Challenge is that there's going to be a solo shooter round where each competitor will shoot a solo round. They'll shoot 5 rounds. We will drop the best, drop the worst, and average the middle 3. And the finishing positions in the solo match will then progress into a number of 2-shooter rounds. And I think this is what's going to be very unique with the Snap Shooter Challenge, that there is this head-to-head component. And what we see in all of the sample events that we've run is that is where the most fun and excitement is. It gets very tense towards the finals of the head-to-head rounds, and I think that's going to be a very unique aspect of that.
The scoring is deliberately very complex, but that means that it takes out these differences between different venues. We're never scoring one venue against another. All the scores are generated from what has happened in that one match.
And the points that you earn towards the league, there will be a component of those points that come from your finishing position in the single shooter mode, and a set of points that you collect from finishing in the final 4 of the head-to-head mode.
And we saw early on in the competition how different backgrounds, so competition shooters versus skirmish shooters, were coming at the targets completely differently. And by the end of the day, that you could see that both sets of shooters had adjusted what they were doing and changed the way. So they're becoming more rounded shooters, and both sides commented that they felt that they got a lot out of the day. Part of my mission when I was putting this concept together was to build in an element where we develop the shooters themselves, not only so that towards our national final that we're going to run later on in the year, but also as individual shooters, so that whether they come from the skirmish background or from a competitive competition background, they're able to develop their shooting skills, their reactionary skills.
Competitors that take part in Snap Shooter Challenge really earn points to a national league. They can attend events hosted by their local site. The hope is that it'll incentivize shooters to move around a little between sites and experience different setups, because one of the versatility of the AttackSense system is that it works in a variety of environments, from village halls up to dedicated shooting centres, right up to practical shooting courses of fire. Earning points for a national league, I think it incentivizes more people to turn up to those events. So you can expect to have a larger number of competitors turn up, and potentially a higher caliber of competitor as well. Tests that we did today, people are coming from hundreds of miles away just to experience the Snap Shooter Challenge. With our match builder, all of the scoring is completely automated. The shooters and competitors can see exactly what's going on in real time and know exactly where they stand with it. It makes the whole thing a lot safer and easier to run, because the people on site, the range officers, are really just responsible for the safety of the site. The benefit of the AttackSense system is, as soon as a shooter finishes their run, the next shooter's on immediately. So your run rate at an event is much higher with our system. The downtime on the range is minimised, which means you can have more competitors turn up. We advertise the events through our website.
What this competition does is develop a sense of hype. You know, normally when you're running the system, people gather around. It's a really competitive system at the best of times. But using the big screen system so that shooters could follow the competition literally shot by shot and turn by turn, you could feel it in the room. The atmosphere built and built and built, and it's going to bring people in. And the concept of the competition is to encourage shooters to travel around and visit other sites. So from a venue sort of perspective, it's going to bring in new customers where they can showcase what they're able to do at their site. And that just helps kind of spread competitors' kind of awareness of other facilities available. So most of the people that have got in touch with us that are looking to run this are really keen on showing off their facilities. So it's going to work for all the sites.
We didn't want to say, you know, you must have this number of targets and they must be set up in this way to keep it the same amongst sites. So what we've done is to create a format where a site runs an event to a certain standard and the shooters leave with points acquired from that.
One of the concerns that we've had is that how can you compare a site like us in a small village hall shooting at relatively small targets? How can you compare that with a large venue with maybe 20 plus targets? And the way that AttackSense have designed the scoring system, all the scores are based on positions from that match. So we're not comparing one site with another.
What we're going to see is shooters that move around between sites to experience the different kind of setups that you can have. And I think this will be kind of part of the enjoyment of being in a league that, you know, it plays out a number of matches over a number of months. When you host a match, there'll actually be a palette of available matches that you can run, and these will take different formats. So if you're intending to operate 3, 4, 5, 6 matches, the shooters that turn up to that are going to get something different every time. One match, shooters turn up and it's going to be shooting gallery. Another time it might be target practice or hostage rescue. So we're going to mix and match various round nodes so that things don't stagnate as sites run more and more matches.
To encourage shooters to travel around and visit other sites, and it's going to bring people in.